Hello, YouTube. So today we're going to learn how to write linear functions. So what is a linear function? Well, a linear function is an equation that describes you guessed it, a line. Now, there are two defining features of a line, and that is the slope and the y-intercept. So when you write an equation of a line, when you write a function of a line, you will need to know number one, the slope, and number two, the y-intercept. So what is slope? Well, slope is the steepness of a line. Slope is also considered a rate of change. Positive slope means you're going up. Negative slope means you're generally going down. Now the slope formula is also known as m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where x1, y1 and x2, y2 are 2 points on the line. This should be pretty good review. If I'm going too fast, you can pause and rewind the video. Now, whenever you see a table, graph, or equation on the line, always find the slope, please, every single time. Anyway, here's an example. Find the slope of this linear equation represented by this table. Step number one, we know that the slope formula, m, is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This will be provided on the formula sheets. Step number one, label your points. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Well, y2 is equal to negative 17 minus negative 1. Now, notice, whenever I substitute a negative number into a variable, I bring along the sign with it. Make sure you write the steps every single time. Oh, did I mess up? Yes, I did. It should be negative 32. There it is. That's y1. That's x2. Negative 32 divided by negative 1 minus negative 2.5. And you're left with 15 over 1.5, I believe. Yes, 1.5, which will give you 2 times 5, which is 10. Boom. So slope here is 10. That's all you have to do to find the slope. Every single time you're given 2 points, please find the slope. Now, what is the y-intercept of the line? Y-intercept is the location of a line. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. The y-intercept is when the value of x is 0 on a point. Let's look at this meme that I made right here. Look at the y-intercept, 0, comma b. Is the x value equal to 0? Yes, it is. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. Mr. Y, intercept, ha ha ha. They're the same picture. What I'm trying to say is that these two things, they're the same thing. If you ever see a point, 0, comma b, that's the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept here is when, I messed up. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. My bad. So if in this case the y-intercept is here, Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, comma 4. Boom, super simple. That's how you find the y-intercept on the graph. Now, this lesson is how to write linear equations. Now, we're getting to that part. There are two ways to find the equation of a line or to write it. Number one, use the slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form looks like y is equal to mx plus b. Now, what are the two things you need for the slope-intercept form? It is just the slope and the y-intercept. Well, first, if you want to write down the equation of this graph, we know that the y-intercept is 0, comma 4. Now, what is the slope? Give me 1 second. Equation b is equal to 4. Now, what is the slope? Well, we don't know it yet, but we can find it if we have 2 points. Luckily for us, there are 2 points. There's one here, 0, comma 4, and this one down here is 6, comma 0. Try to find any point along the line where it crosses right through the middle. You could have used this one. You could have also used, if you follow along on this line, maybe like right here. Negative 6, comma 8. So the slope of this line can be represented by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. You're left with 0 minus 4 over 6 minus 0. That gives you negative 4 divided by 6, which is the same thing as negative 2 over 3. So the slope is equal to negative 2, comma 3. Now that we have the y-intercept and the slope, we can plug those values into the slope-intercept form, and we're left with the equation of the line y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 4. Boom. That's the equation of the line. Now, the other way to find the equation of a line is using the point-slope form. The point-slope form looks like this. y1. Oh, I messed up. It should look like y minus y1 is equal to slope times x minus x sub 1. Okay, what do you think are the two things that are required for the point-slope form? You guessed it, it's just the point and the slope. Are we given a point here? Yep. That we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points actually. So that fits the requirement, but are we given the slope? No, so we need to find it. Remember, whenever you see a table, find the slope. Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Label the points, x1, y1, x2, y2. And we're left with negative 17 minus negative 32. Yes, I know we've done this already. Divided by negative 1 minus negative 2.5, which will give you 15 over 1.5, which will give you 10. So the slope is 10. Are we given a point? Yes. Are we given the slope? Yes, that fits the requirements. Now we can plug those values into our equation or form. So we have y minus, where's y1? Negative 32. Minus 32. Negative 32 is equal to 10 times x minus negative 2.5, which will give you y plus 32 is equal to 10 times x plus 25. Therefore, solving for y, subtract 32 from both sides, and you're left with y is equal to 10x minus 7, and that is the equation of the line, and we are done. Now, there's an extra thing on the STAR test that you must remember. Parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slope. What does that mean? Well, if you have a slope, for example, if m is equal to 1/4, here's a trick you should know. Flip and negate if you want to find perpendicular slope. Step number 1, flip it. 1/4 becomes 4/1, and you negate it, that becomes -4. You guys should remember this, I hope. Now, horizontal lines are represented by y is equal to a number. And that y is equal to number, that horizontal line has 0 slope. Vertical lines are represented by x is equal to a number. And these lines have undefined slope. Just some trivia. Now find the equations and slopes of the graph below. Well, first, we notice that -5, this graph, when the graph is at -5, it's at -3. -1, -3, 1, -3, 5, -3. When all the y values are the same, the equation is y is equal to -3. And the slope is 0. For this one, we notice that this is a vertical line. Now, where does the x-axis, x-intercept of the vertical line? X is equal to -5. Therefore, that's the equation of the line. A vertical line has the equation of x is equal to -5 here, and the slope is undefined. If you guys don't know this, it's fine, just skip it. This should just be review. Now, one last thing. There are 3 forms of the linear equation: the slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and the standard form. These will be on the test. Now, just like Drake, we don't like the standard form. We do, however, like this form, the slope-intercept form. So whenever you see this, generally it's helpful to turn it into something like this. Here's an example of how to turn the ax plus by is equal to c into y equals mx plus b form. Here's an example: 3x plus 5y is equal to 10. Step number 1, subtract 3x from both sides. We have 5y is equal to 10 minus 3x. Now divide both sides by 5, so we get 5y divided by 5 is equal to 10 minus 3x divided by 5, and we're left with y is equal to 2 minus 3/5 x, which turns into y is equal to -3/5 x plus 2. And we are done. Alright, that's end of the lesson. Please do these questions on the bottom. You guys should be able to do it. There's only 2, I believe. Nope, there's more than 2. There's 5. Alright, good luck. Once you're done, please show me your answers. Then you're good to go for the next TEK. Thank you.